Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
In all the books that I've written about Donald Trump, his relationship with Russia, and his threat to the Constitution of the United States. And I'm glad people are starting to get around to understanding that.
Malcolm, I gotta,
Gosh,
I gotta ask you. I know you couldn't join us yesterday on your usual day, but I was just dying to ask you. So, the Kremlin confirmed a report that Trump sent COVID machines to Putin, right? So, what happens when they break with their, when your side piece won't back up your story about where you were last night?
you start singing the "Wasn't Me" song, and with Donald Trump, that's not his game. He is. Look, can I start this conversation with some stipulations? Right, these are facts that are unassailable. One, Donald Trump is the single most documented liar in American political history. Documented. So why are we having this discussion? Every talk about Donald Trump should start with this man's a pathological liar. He can't tell you the truth. Whatever he says he's doing, he's lying to your face and doing something else. So if they say, "Oh, he didn't send COVID little pocket cardboard box tests to Vladimir Putin. He
Yeah.
sent advanced COVID testing machines that the United States needed desperately,
Yeah.
desperately. And, any other president who would do something to aid some of our foreign allies, they tell us, hey, we sent these machines to Germany. We sent these machines here. Out of a humanitarian as out of a humanitarian cause, he could have said he sent testing machines to Russia. But no, it was a personal favor to his supervisor, Vladimir Putin, and he expects something from it. I understand he made seven phone calls to Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little something about U.S. national security collection parameters.
I was just going to ask you this. I was Alexander Vindman's
if,
comments. Yes, please,
if
go ahead.
you are an American citizen and you are talking to a foreign power, there is no privilege in being the president of the United States and speaking to an enemy of the United States when you're a private citizen. There is no privilege.
Thank you.
You will be afforded all the same rights, but that doesn't mean that someone will not um, um, collect on you or will, in fact, turn this over to the FBI. It's a requirement by law that if you're caught communicating with a foreign power, we will sanitize everything. But we know you're communicating.
This is
with
what
them.
you wrote about in your first book, The Plot to Hack America.
Yes.
This is what happened in 2016. They weren't spying on Trump's campaign. It's because they were colluding with Russia. Alexander Vindman said.
Trump popped up on Putin's mistress's phone number.
Thank
right?
you.
It said my side piece on Putin's phone, and Trump pops up.
Right. Alexander Vindman said it's reasonable there's a recording of these calls and an exquisite intel program. Trump would not be the target of the collection, but because Putin's a high-value target, Trump would be caught in the collection. The Russians definitely have a recording of every call. Trump's 7 calls with Putin also explain why Putin was emboldened to launch the invasion of Ukraine, sustain more than 2 years of war. Putin made a huge investment in Trump and expects the investment to pay off. It's clear now more than ever that Trump was the decisive factor in convincing Putin to wage a wider war in Ukraine. Trump has taken the world to the brink of Armageddon. A second Trump term would have America and with it the entire world go over the precipice. Trump is and was a clear and present danger to the U.S. I mean, Malcolm, that's exactly what happened because he on cue urged his Republican friends in Congress not to send aid to Ukraine, right?
You know what? It's quite possible Donald Trump was coordinating Putin's activities against the interest of the United States. The only thing that's saving him right now for not being called a literal traitor is that the Constitution says we must be in a declared state of war. But this, if you want to use it rhetorically, this is treason. He carried out acts against the interest of the United States and in his own personal interest. He wasn't carrying out private diplomacy at the behest of the President of the United States, Joe Biden. There is a recording not just on the Russian side. Okay? When you do incidental, activities like this and you pop up on Putin's side piece phone number, Okay, we target that stuff. It's been done since, I mean, Roosevelt did it to people. I mean, this is old school stuff. Trump didn't care. Okay, and he thinks he's immune. He thinks that he is secure. My question is, did he coordinate all of this with Vladimir Putin, and it costs the lives of our allies and quite possibly the lives of our servicemen and women? And I don't know. All I know is when we win this election, and we're going to win this election,
Yep.
no question, because every one of you is turning out. I'm going to Georgia when I get back to the United States to turn out the vote. I'm going to drive little old ladies to the polls. But I'm saying this. When this is done, this requires a full court press of the new Democratic House, the new Democratic Senate, and the new Democratic President of the United States.
Yeah.
No backsies on this one. No, he's a nice guy. Let's cut him some slack. No, he's out of office. Look what he's done when he's out of office.
Yeah. I got to say, I mentioned this yesterday. This is also in Bob Woodward's book. You know, I love me some Obama, but Biden was right. Apparently, he said they effed up in 2014. That's why we're here. We effed it up. Barack never took Putin seriously. I said that. He should have said F Mitch McConnell and told people what was happening in 2016. But, you know, nobody wants to be seen as too partisan before an election. But only we respect that, right?
Barack Obama's, I said this in the first months that he was president of the United States. He wants to be the Daniel Day-Lewis version of Lincoln, right? But before he suddenly realized how much awesome power that he had at his fingertips. He wanted to be the conciliator. And I think it's great. It's wonderful. It aspires. It is Barack Obama. And I love the guy. But I knew immediately Kumbaya is only sung on one side of this park, right? You're sitting there with your guitar singing Kumbaya. No one is joining you. They are plotting your murder. They are planning to break into your neighbor's house. You cannot show, it wasn't weakness. Obama showed what he was. I'm sure he hated Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
But what I think he did was he underestimated even the intelligence analyses saying Putin could be dealt with. So, you know, but right now, it's not him making an offhand mark to Medvedev about, you know, what happens after the elections. It's him not understanding Vladimir Putin was president the entire time, and that he was plotting murder of his neighbor, the people of Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, election season is a sweet time of the year, right? As candidates coat their messages with lots of sugar to get your vote. Yeah, I said that. Now you can enjoy the sweetness of the election with authentic candidate cookies with the likeness of Kamala and Donald on your favorite butter cookie made by the famous deli in Chicago, Max and Benny's. You can purchase these once-in-a-lifetime cookies on the Stephanie Miller, Tom Harmon, and John Fugelsang websites. To order, go to our websites, click on the banner for cookie candidates, or go directly to their website, cookiecandidates.com.